Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Coming with the kind of bounce.
On there.
Yeah.
Appreciate you joining us for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
And it is February 12th, 2025. A fresh edition is happening right now.
Yeah, man.
7:01 if you believe in the concept of time and live in Omaha, Nebraska. Where it is currently 8 degrees.
Ooh. Why you got cursed at him so early, Paul?
Hey, man, get the cussing done out the way first. It's cold.
Baby's
and
home.
It's snowy. Yep. Cold and snowy. So that's what we're dealing with this morning. And hopefully since we don't have to go take a lot of babies to school today, then maybe make it a little easier on the roads. There is an advisory going on OPS. I don't know if anybody saw it, but for OPS, they've shut things down. Pretty much all the colleges pretty much shut down around here as far as school is concerned. And everybody usually follows OPS's lead on that one. And also UNO's lead is what I just heard last night. So, yeah. Cold outside. I don't wonder how you guys are dealing with it. So I see some good mornings in the chat already. Pops gives us a good Wednesday morning for Sky. And Mad Love from Las Vegas.
Hey.
Keister says, "What's up Wednesday?" What's up Wednesday is we got Councilwoman Juanita Johnson coming on today. So
yeah, man.
That's what's up. Get your questions ready. Stacey Jean is up early. Good morning for Sky fam and friends. You got the snowflake on there because representing. Marlon Harrison says, good morning, First Guy family. Stay warm and safe to everyone in Omaha. Yeah, stay off the road. Stay safe. Call your loved ones. Make sure everything is good. It's supposed to get like wind chill and everything that's going to make it feel like it's below 20 tonight.
So. Let me look out my window. Temperature's been dropping off around here. Reports of the southeast getting hit, slammed with another wave of the stuff.
Always going to get away with it. Get to spring without some craziness, but nope.
Man, here we are.
Sean McCarthy in the chat. Good morning, all. Hope everyone's staying warm.
Yep.
Wanda Lewis in the chat. What's happening? I'm glad to see you in the chat. Appreciate you coming through. Got to do it. Anthony Rogers right in the chat says it must be municipal election season. I even saw some snow plows in North Omaha working it, bro.
Okay.
The plows was up early this morning. Me and Gene was like, hey, there's an election season. Let's make sure these streets are clear. Welcome again. If you're just joining us, we do have special guest. Councilwoman Juanita Johnson is coming today, so get your questions ready for her and get ready to have a good, productive conversation. In the meantime, between time, buddy, how you feeling?
Man, feeling rested for the first time in quite a while.
Got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, man. A lot of times I'm on here. I'll be honest, man. I'm going off 2-3 hours of sleep sometimes, man, and just zombieing along. Yeah,
we can tell.
Yeah.
But even at your zombie state, you be on it and bringing it. So,
well, thank you.
I know that you're tired. I look at you. I'm like, I know he's tired, but no, man. When something's coming up, you put that fire in your voice and come on with it. So,
oh yeah. Gotta feel it. Gotta bring it to the people, man. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in. How you doing, Paul? What's good with you, man?
Yeah, man, just maintaining. Not happy about this cold. I'm really, really, really looking forward to this season passing. I'm now at my limit of like how much cold I can deal with. So now I'm just gonna have an attitude till it warms up. So other than that,
hopefully this the last wave.
Hopefully. Jump into some community news real quick, and then we'll get into some other headlines and things. I just appreciate everybody that is joining us this morning. Yesterday we got a chance to talk to. With Love Felicia, actually the day before yesterday, and she came on. I don't know if you guys saw this on YouTube, but we dropped a video of us talking to her about Verbal Gumbo that's coming up here on Saturday. So 15th Verbal Gumbo is happening in North Omaha Music Academy. That's NOMA. It's so funny. Like if it doesn't say NOMA, then I'm like, where's the North Omaha Music Academy? And actually, we have to around here. We got to say the old loves jazz, so people know
Yeah,
what we're
mama
talking
call
about.
love jazz.
Yeah. So yeah, Noma, it's happening Saturday night, 7:30. Get your tickets for that. Michelle and Felicia are coming in town to do another verbal gumbo. Everybody's been highly anticipating this. So it's going down. I'll go ahead and put that link in the chat if you want to get your tickets early and come on through to that. And we got a chance to talk to her about the history of poetry and all kinds of stuff on this video. So
Man.
definitely go to the YouTube channel, First Sky Omaha, the YouTube channel, and check out the video. Pretty interesting 15 minutes or so to talking to her about, man, she's been around since we went all the way back to the 90s in that conversation when
Oh yeah, man.
after Love Jones came out and how everybody was all about poetry for a minute, pretty awesome.
Man.
Yeah. With that said, in the meantime, too, we also got to make sure that we represent what's going on the next day, which is Sunday, February 16th. Yeah, OEA's is going down. As a matter of fact, Verbal Gumbo is going to get a special John Heaston Award on that day too. So that's another reason why they're in town. So it's going to be pretty nice weekend as far as Verbal Gumbo is concerned on Saturday, and then OEA's on Sunday. Definitely get your tickets for OEA's too. I'll put that in the chat as well. There's a big ticket push going on right now because we're getting down to the wire, and like we were saying, kind of limited seating is happening because it's a little smaller venue than expected this time around, than the usual this time around, because we're having it at the old Sokol Auditorium, the Admiral they call it now, and there's this tie-in to John Heaston because he's the one that really got the Sokol Auditorium going in the first place. So it's in honor of him that the show will be there too. So some good honoring going on around here for the right folks. I'm always down for that. So those are the
pioneer.
True pioneer, man. Pioneer media, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. You see what I did? You see what I did? Yeah.
I like that. Lots of other stuff going on around town. Of course, Valentine's Day is coming up. You guys plans for Valentine's Day? I saw a lot of Galentine's Day events happening, way more than Valentine's Day. So the ladies are getting together like, forget Valentine's, we're going to get together and have some mimosas ourselves. So,
hey, all right.
Got nothing on that though, but more importantly, this stuff that's going on, we're still trying to raise some funds for Idle Vital. So I'm putting that out there as well. Please definitely link up and help this sister get the money that she needs to get raised. This is an old photo. They've raised way more than $470. Just want to point that out. But just, you're representing. She's also been in the news, man. WOWT finally chimed in and talked about what's going on with her to try to get the word out. But this is still going on. I'm seeing if I can find the link here. Of course, I lost it while I'm trying to talk about it. I'll put the link in the chat as soon as I get it. But yeah, please. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, please hit the GoFundMe, and any little bit helps so she can reach her goal, get that plumbing fixed, and be able to stay in her spot. So that's definitely something that we're going to try to stay on until her 30 days are up. She got probably about 15 more days to get this thing going. So yeah, please help her out. And as we said a little earlier, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson will be joining us here shortly. So get your questions ready for her, and we'll have a good discussion. Meantime, between time, that's about it for community news. I'll let Buddy jump into top headlines. Appreciate you, Pops. He gave me some feedback on the video there. I appreciate that very much.
Nice.
Definitely go check it out. Yeah, he said, love that show. Great interview. Thanks, Pops.
Thank you. Out on YouTube now, so definitely check that out. But yeah, jumping into headlines, man, several things going on, but we're continuing to keep our eye and our finger on the pulse of the Trump effect, especially as it continues to rock the state, and state leaders are continuing to fall in line. This coming out of KETV 7. Apparently, Nebraska Auditor Mike Foley is all for the federal cuts. Again, he says waste, fraud, and abuse in government is real, and it needs to be exposed. Again, that's according to Nebraska State Auditor Mike Foley. That's why Foley said he supports Trump's DOGE efforts to trim trillions of dollars from the federal deficit, saying we've got to have more discipline in our spending. And I know it's painful because every time you touch one little item, that budget, it hits somebody somewhere. Foley has been a state senator and served on the Nebraska legislature's budget writing committee. So again, he's all too familiar with the state's budget and where federal funding goes, which is kind of interesting why he says it hits somebody somewhere, not fully acknowledging that it's his state that's getting hit. There's been several reports on, again, Nebraska being disproportionately hit and kind of more having a more exponential impact from Trump's moves, the latest moves, not just with federal funding, but ICE as well. But to touch on the federal funding portion, just to give you a glimpse on how this is impacting all areas of Nebraska. One area you might not have thought about is UNMC. Again, during the COVID pandemic, UNMC was kind of center stage as some of the research that they were doing on COVID, again, on viral loads, on vaccines, just fighting, health scares and health crises. And now UNMC might have a different fight on their hands in the face of some of the moves from Trump to the tune of a $27 million budget cut. At least that's the story coming out of KMTV3. Again, headline reads, University of Nebraska eyes a $27 million shortfall if federal pulls funding. And again, that directly deals with research. Again, in our laboratory, we can identify and quantify a broad range of biological molecules that are in the human body or in animal models. That's according to Dr. Rebecca Guntry, who's the director of UNMC's mass spectrometry. To do this work, infrastructure is everything, which means funding. Grants from National Institutes of Health fund not only the research she performs, but the logistics like lighting, heat, water, maintenance, renovations, and more. And again, we spoke to Douglas County Health Director Phil Rooney not too long ago. And again, COVID is still a thing. Bird flu is on the uptick, especially with Trump's pressure on the CDC. We don't really know what kind of health crises are on the come up out there. And again, with issues like this, UNMC, one of the not just Nebraska's but the nation's top medical research facilities, losing funds. What could that mean? So again, very, very interesting when the likes of Mike Hilgers and Mike Foley support what Trump is doing, not just on the federal funding tip, but also on the ICE tip. Again, there's been some scares as far as where is ICE attacking, how is ICE rounding up people. Of course, we've been talking about the schools, but what about the courts? Again, there was a statement from Douglas County Sheriff Hansen that said that he did speak to ICE, and they did say that they won't be waiting at courts, rounding people up. However, Omaha World Herald is reporting on a different situation. Apparently, a Lincoln man went into courts on a misdemeanor charge, say maybe a traffic violation, but somehow ended up in ICE custody. Again, Omaha World Herald reports a 26-year-old man who went to the Lancaster County Courthouse this week expecting to make a routine appearance on a misdemeanor charge ended up being taken away by ICE agents. Now the man's wife, who is 6 months pregnant, is on her own with the child. The family's breadwinner sitting in a jail cell in Council Bluffs awaiting immigration proceedings. That's according to attorney Carlos Manzan. He says it's very, very sad situation. Here we didn't even have a conviction. So again, this is just a glimpse. I know, Paul, that you mentioned there's been some situations and reports and kind of whispers in the community of individuals going into court, also finding themselves in ICE custody and ICE in the grasp of ICE. I'll say that. So again, very, very interesting as we continue to keep an eye on this situation. I'm sure a lot of you caught, glimpse of the national protest that happened last week. Again, people descending on Lincoln, protesting out in South Omaha, and even, again, nationally, there were protests here in Atlanta and several other areas across the nation. So, again, we're continuing to keep our eyes on the Trump effect, what's going on with that situation and how it impacts locally, how it impacts the Omaha community, and really the Nebraska community at large. So we'll continue to keep our eyes on that. But also, as Paul mentioned, we will be having Councilwoman Juanita Johnson coming on. So we'll be getting into some latest moves from City Council here in a second, especially looking at this whole Crush liquor license situation. Again, we've been talking about several, especially North Omaha nightlife establishments getting the pressure from City Council, especially on their liquor license. And this latest move is just an update in that story. Again, Omaha City Council voted unanimously 6-0 in support of canceling the downtown bar's liquor license. And now it has to go before the state's liquor commission for final say. But again, with the unanimous vote in City Council, it's kind of a foregone conclusion, and the clock is ticking on Crush Ultra Lounge. Also, coming out of City Council, or really coming out of the legislature, but definitely want to address City Council on this situation. Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney and LB 512 and also 514. two bills looking to address the OHA situation. So hopefully we will be able to get into that with Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, put some respect on her name here a little bit, because this bill is making major changes, not only addressing how the bed bug situation is managed, but overall property management possibly making its way from OHA's grasp to the overall city control. So again, we'll be talking about that a little later on and more. I see a few more people coming into the chat. Mama God checking in. So top of the morning, Brother Anthony Rogers Wright, Sister Kara Warner, everybody coming in. Good morning. Let your minds be free. Let your voices be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo. Hey, just want to say hello also to Clarice Jackson, who's in the chat.
Hey.
I appreciate you coming on in. Yeah, good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining us again on this 12th of February. Again, everybody already probably knows this by now, but schools are out because of the weather. Just really take care of yourselves with that. And one more thing that's going around that's really kind of floating around before we get to the break here is this recall. There's been a recall of canned tuna over botulism risk, and this has been a whole bunch of stores, Costco, Trader Joe's. So this might be something to really kind of take a look at and keep in mind and do a little research on to find out if you are into the canned tuna thing. But I kind of thought it would be a good idea. I've seen so much chatter, just people sending me texts and emails, and Friends of First Sky Omaha, and they're floating around social media that everybody's telling everybody else about this. So we figure we bring it up too. And there's an article that you can check out at NPR to find out where and some of the tuna that's being sold is having the issues. So yeah, definitely check that out and keep it in mind. And if you have any more information on anything that's being recalled, especially when it comes to any kind of food items, and we kind of need to really spread the word on that, please do that. Put it in the chat. And also Friends of First Sky Omaha, if you get a chance to do that, if you find out something that we haven't talked about. Definitely want to try to keep everybody safe and healthy on that. And that's really what it is. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into a story before we get to our special guest, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. Stay tuned. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Guide.
Hey,
stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Yeah.
Wake up. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and improving is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth. We moving in stealth. Milking the game till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with the commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we standing up. Unification amongst us. Wake up, 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 wake up.
I need a little Sherman Wells in my life, waking me on up. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be Buddy the Guy. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, man. How y'all feeling out there? I see Marlon Harrison is up. Appreciate that. He says, I was watching ABC News the other day, and they were talking about how certain companies like hotels, Coca-Cola, and many factories are snitching on their employees to ICE.
I did hear about that. Especially in Coca-Cola down here in Atlanta. You know, this is Coca-Cola land.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a thing, man.
Snitching on employees. Okay.
Yeah. It's been wild out here, bro. Also, before we went to the break, you mentioned about the recall, man. I've been hearing more and more recalls popping up. I just recently heard about a recall from broccoli from Walmart's. Been linked to a couple deaths.
Deaths?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
See, you try to eat something healthy like some broccoli and end up getting jacked up.
Man, and there's a lot more conversation to be had with that, with Trump cutting things and plane situations right now.
Man.
And yeah.
We going to have a whole show about the airplane situations happening.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. One more thing I forgot to mention too before we jump into the story. I just want to big up brother Kasim, who's got the Urban Survival Club going on right now. Open enrollment is happening. Teach the boy, create the man. That's what's happening. 2:15. So the 15th coming up at 3:00. 15th is Saturday, I believe. Assembly of the Saints, 4224 North 24th Street. Go ahead and sign your kid up, man, and go ahead and get down with this Urban Survival Club. Brother Kasim's been doing good work in the community with the Black Agenda Alliance.
Yeah, man.
And this is happening now. He's accepting some folks, getting ready for the springtime, man. Get them out there, get them out in the nature, making it happen. So shout out to Brother Kasim and the work that he's doing. We'll have him on soon to talk about that. Meantime, between time, buddy, what's first on the agenda?
Man, we still fighting the towers. That's definitely first on the agenda. Yeah, man, fight the towers. That's kind of the definitely the conversation I want to have. Big shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, who dropped some literature on Friends of. But yeah. Let's leave that up for a second. You see that on the screen. If you can, go ahead and scan that QR code. Again, we are selling Fight the Towers T-shirts, and proceeds do go, a part of the proceeds do go to assisting the Underwood Tenants Group, which is definitely embroiled in this fight with OHA, and again, not just OHA, but really all landlords out there that are subjecting tenants to deplorable living conditions, which, again, it's not just OHA, man. There's a few slumlords out there. But again, OHA is the one that's controlled by the city, or at least should be. That's according to a few bills. As I mentioned, shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, who's pushing some bills, actually LB 287 to be exact, to address the bed bug situation. And again, this bill looks to require policies for certain housing authorities regarding bed bug infestations. McKinney's bill was presented in front of the Urban Affairs Committee earlier this week, and it seeks to require visual inspections of units for bed bugs, keep a record of bed bug complaints, acknowledge a complaint within a certain time frame, and have OHA hire and pay pest control. And again, if you remember, that was kind of central to the story of Brother Hassani Lee, who again went through the process of filing complaints, and OHA not really acknowledging the complaints, kind of even giving out not just him but other tenants false information on how to file those complaints, telling them to make phone calls and to leave messages and things like that. But under law, if it's not written, if there's not an email, then they can have all the leeway to ignore it, which they have. And again, this bill addresses that very thing. Again, earlier this year, tenants filed a class action lawsuit against OHA, saying that they've suffered for years with bed bugs. And again, in the case of Brother Hassani Lee, it had gotten to the point where, again, if you remember, the bed bugs and the CPAP machine is kind of the mental image that stuck with me as far as how bad this situation actually could get. Yeah. Bad. Again, man, just deplorable. I don't even know what other way to put it, what other word to use to describe the situation. KETV Investigates found that if tenants only file complaints with OHA, the city can't do anything since OHA is its own entity, which again is kind of the deniability that Mayor Stothert has been leaning on, not just with the OHA situation, but again, we talked about City View and that apartment building. And again, her response has been consistent. They're not complaining directly to the city. So even though we know that there's human rights violations, even though we know that this isn't very safe, we can't do anything about it. Unless, again, the maintenance and property and really onus for these properties are put directly on the city, which a new bill could possibly do. Is again not just addressing the bed bug situation, but this being reported by KMTV3. LB 512 and LB 514 could give the city more power to regulate OHA properties, kind of removing that excuse from Mayor Stothert. Again, the report reads, for months, there has been reports on the conditions inside the Omaha Housing Authority properties. Residents telling reporters they've experienced rodents, mold, and most recently, the lack of heat. So again, not just bed bugs and rodents and mold, but in this temperature, you heard what Paul said. Again, wind chills possibly taking it down to -20, and some dealing with no heat. There's been reports of having to use the oven to heat up the house, which again is a hazard, especially in some of these properties that are already run down. Oven being used to heat up the house can only lead to more problems, especially for those breathing in the fumes and things like that. Michael Coleman, who was one of those, lives in Underwood Tower. He says, sometimes I cry myself to sleep outside of this. That's how mad it's getting real bad. He told, again, reporters that he hopes this bill holds someone other than OHA accountable. He says, I can't put up with this anymore, but this is the only place I can live with the money that I'm making. So I can't move. So I'm sick. Like I keep saying to you guys, I'm sick and tired of it. I want to get everything taken care of now, not now, but right now, immediately. Again, the bill. Yeah, man. The bill introduced last month by 4 senators aims for tighter regulations within OHA. It also points to the city of Omaha to manage the Omaha Housing Authority, which is currently regulated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, i.e. HUD, which has been, again, a huge point of contention and conversation as far as why hasn't HUD stepped in to do more and what could HUD do in that instance. So, again, Jennifer Taylor, who sits on the board of OHA, says that one of the goals of OHA is to provide safe and suitable housing. However, adding another layer of supervision would not be beneficial of OHA. She says the issue for the Housing Authority, we are already subject to federal regulations, HUD inspections on an annual basis and biannual basis. We are already subjected to the State Housing Agency Act. To add one more layer of oversight to government oversight just makes things more complicated, difficult, expensive, and time-consuming for the Housing Authority. So, again, not prioritizing the health and goodwill of the people over, budgets, time, those types of things.
Consolidating government.
Right. So, apparently, they feel like there's enough oversight, but not enough oversight for anything, anybody to do anything about it. It's kind of the situation where the job that everybody is supposed to do, nobody is doing. Like, who is responsible for overseeing this stuff and making sure it doesn't happen? We don't know. Everybody keeps passing the buck.
This is an ongoing conversation that we've been having on the show and having with you, the chat chimers, and all the ghost listeners that chime in other times during the day and send me messages all the time. Everybody's really concerned about this, and everybody's seeing the efforts of all the friends of First Sky Omaha, Sherman Wells, everybody, Paul Philman, people that are going down there fighting and confronting things and making everybody pay attention to this and getting the mainstream news and stuff is picking things up now too. Because this is a big problem, and now it's being talked about in some of the highest levels of government in Nebraska. So we don't know what's going to come of it, but we've done our job to really kind of keep an eye on this. Everybody who's been working on it, man. Shout out to Sherman Wells. You can go to his page and see so much footage of him walking around and seeing what's going on in City View Towers and OHA, towers and a lot of other places that are there. Shout out to people like our brother Doug over there with Tenants United. There's a lot of people that are really trying to fight this, and shout out to the ACLU for litigation, for litigating this situation. So class action suit. So there's the fight will continue, and we'll continue to try to do what we can to try to help raise funds in order to help people get to their court dates and all the things that are going on as far as the Underwood Tenants Group is concerned and things they're heading up. I put a link for the Underwood Tenants Group in the chat, so you can click that and see what's going on there. But it's getting crazy, getting real crazy. So this is something that we have to unfortunately continue to talk about because it's such a big deal that's not subsided yet. It's not satisfied yet. So we got to keep talking about it. But I appreciate everybody's input on that. Pops in the chat is saying, I'm telling you, Trump is mirroring the actions of Adolf, now having people rat out those he considers undesirables. In Hitler's time, people were ratting out their own relatives. Yeah, it does sound very familiar about people that are turning in their co-workers to ICE. This Trump effect is really happening everywhere. And as far as the housing thing is concerned too, I keep thinking about that. All these regulatory entities that he's dismantling. That's keeping track of like food safety and air safety and housing safety and all the things. And it just feels like it'll get worse. So it means that we got to chime up even more. So Mama God said, First Sky fam helping to speak truth to power. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we trying. So as far as the housing situation, currently, if you or a loved one are dealing with, again, deplorable living conditions, tenants will have to file a complaint with code enforcement before the city's inspectors can investigate. That is the current process. At the hearing, the chairman of the board of commissioners for OHA said OHA has implemented a pest management team and does do proactive treatments on a regular basis. He is criticizing the bill, but also said he was limited to answering senators' questions because of the current lawsuit. So again, this litigation is ongoing, as you mentioned, with the ACLU and the tenants who signed on to the class action suit, and also reminding you that although he was successful in moving his family out of the property, our brother Hassani Lee is also still in court, still fighting, and still, pushing for lawsuits of his own. So this saga is far from over, and we will continue to keep our eyes on this. But as we mentioned, we do have or will be having Councilwoman Juanita Johnson hopefully coming on soon. So I'd definitely love to talk to her about those things and more, especially the idea of the city taking over OHA, which again is its own entity, which is crazy to think about. But here we are. Here we are at 7:30. If you believe in the concept of time, we'll take a quick break, and we're anticipating our special guest, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, coming up. But we'll continue the conversation. Appreciate everybody that's joined us. Celeste Butler, I see you in the chat saying one love, fam. Appreciate you. Peace.
Yeah, peace. Appreciate you. We'll definitely come back and jump back into some conversation. Stay tuned. 7:31 right now. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Yes, sir. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Call B, buddy to God. Hey. Man, we got Chad Chambers, Ghost listeners, everybody coming on through this morning. Appreciate you guys getting up early with us and discussing some of these things. I see Karen Warner shouting out some folks. Appreciate you. Mike Lee is in the chat saying shout out to Senator Wayne for being part of that legal team too. Yeah, I forgot. Thanks for the reminder on that. Yeah, Senator Justin Wayne on the legal team trying to make those things happen. So yeah, man, on the fight for housing, fighting the towers. Man,
fight the towers. Still goes, man. Still going on. So big shout out to all the warriors on the front lines. Thank you.
Yeah, big time. Appreciate everybody coming through. Just want to remind everybody, tickets are on sale now for OEAAs. It's happening on Sunday. We're really doing a push now because it's getting down to the wire. Sunday is the show, February 16th. Definitely go check out OEAA Awards and celebrate with everybody, all the performers, musicians, artists, everybody who's part of this and been nominated. Definitely go support your nominations and check them out as well. Also, just want to mention that we've wrapped up our citizen journalism workshop over at MCC yesterday. That was our last day for that workshop, and had some really great participation, man. Some brothers who are in the reentry program that are formerly incarcerated right now and going through their reentry situation. Very interested in telling their own stories, man. It's really going to be interesting. We got to talk a lot about some of the things that are going on inside, and if them brothers start telling some stories, then we're going to really hear some news about what's happening. Yeah.
All right. That's what it's about, man. Again, if you remember, the state and the prison system itself was blocking the state actually from getting information about exactly what was going on inside the walls. There's some months where we didn't know, and there were a couple deaths being reported, and what was really going on in Nebraska prison. So the fact that we can get the brothers and sisters to tell their own story, because people try to dehumanize them as criminals, and try to throw them away and just whittle it down to that. But these are still human beings with stories to tell, lives to learn about, and minds of their own. So man, I'm glad we were able to do that. I'm glad you're having positive feedback from that. Shout out to Diane Good, the whole team at MCC 180 rap. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting
Big
down,
time,
getting
big
down.
time. Also, shout out to the Omaha Public Library, man. We're starting a really nice collaboration with them. We're going to do their podcast takeover coming up here. The date is February 28th.
Yep.
Did we ever confirm that was the date? Okay, yeah, that's the date.
Yeah. That's
Cool,
the day.
cool. So, yeah, stay tuned. Look out for that. We'll definitely put all the links there for when we do our library takeover. We're going to be talking about some library items that we think is important for this month, this Black Futures Month that we got going on here. So, yeah, man, really appreciate everybody who's hooking us up with some really good partnerships. And it's kind of right up our alley, man. We're kind of a couple of reading rainbow kids, so we all about this public library collab.
Take a look in a bucket's reading rainbow.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
right.
Yeah.
Get down. And more collaborations to come. So again, appreciate everybody who's helped us reach out to some other folks to collaborate and really kind of spread the word, get the word out on stuff, not just the news, but just information in general, just information on how to uplift the Black community, especially in our community here in Omaha as a whole. I mean, this is what this is all about. So,
Man,
shout out.
The culture thriving.
It's all about the culture. It's all about the culture. So we were just talking about that this morning. It's all,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
yeah. Gotta do it. We're anticipating our guest of Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. So as soon as she comes on, we'll jump in. But in the meantime, before we get to that, Kara Warner in the chat, I'm bring her up. She says, I've been visiting prisons throughout the state of Nebraska for Black Heritage Month, and it's been an eye-opening experience. Our incarcerated brothers and sisters have a story to tell. Boy,
man,
you ain't lying about that. As soon as I gave them a couple little tenets for writing, for storytelling, from the curriculum that me and Buddy have put together here, they took off. They wrote a story. They came back. They added some stuff to it. The next week they had revised it again. They edited themselves. If we can arm them with some pens, you're gonna hear some stuff. There's gonna be some change. There will be some change. There's a couple stories I'm going to try to help with some of the brothers writing right now about being in the hole. They're talking about that solitary confinement ain't no joke, and they're telling the real story about it now that they're coming out. So, yeah, it's good. Like I said, man, if we're here to try to uplift the Black community, and we're here to try to serve and serve news and keep track of and tell stories of our community, we got to go into the prisons as well, because a lot of us is in there.
Oh yeah,
and that's a huge part of it. Huge part of the one of the beats should be a prison beat almost. You know what I'm saying?
Man, so, and again, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, thinking of the Ed Poindexters out there that are being silenced by being put behind bars. So, you know what I mean? It ain't just your run-of-the-mill stick-up kid. Like, these are some intelligent brothers and sisters behind these bars that we forget about and throw away. Sister Kara Warner, she says, yes, it's deep. We need their stories published. So we're doing our best. We're definitely touching the folks. So
free Ernest Jackson.
Man, there you go.
In the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into a story real quick while we're waiting on our guests to come through. Buddy, what's first on the agenda there?
Yeah, man. Actually, from the brothers and sisters behind bars to the brothers and sisters out in the streets, man, I'm thinking about the young folk in particular. Where are they going to go? This is in light of this whole Crush Ultra Lounge situation. I don't know. I'm feeling a certain way about this. And actually, hopefully we do get Councilwoman Juanita Johnson on pretty soon, because I believe she's one of the ones who voted unanimously. Again, it was a 6-0 vote to remove the liquor license from Crush Ultra Lounge. And we got to know that there's some racial elements to this. I don't think that's too far of a stretch. Again, if you're not familiar with Crush Ultra Lounge, formerly the Throwback Lounge downtown, and it has been battling for some years. That's kind of actually why, again, the name was changed from the Throwback Lounge to the Crush Ultra Lounge. And now, again, after some local pressure, the Omaha City Council voted 6-0 in support of canceling the liquor license. As I mentioned earlier in the headlines, it has to now go to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission for final say. But again, police say they have responded to the business several times for fights, even a shooting. The bar, again, located on 14th and Howard, has been open since April and was previously, again, Throwback Arcade Lounge with the same ownership. The city's attorney's office showed body camera footage from several incidents and reports from the Omaha Police Department. The attorney for Crush Ultra Lounge questioned the reports and the police response, calling it predatory policing, which again, the North Omaha community is all too familiar with as far as over policing, racial profiling, predatory policing. And again, this just kind of brings about the question as far as nightlife and brain drain and the future of North Omaha as far as young folk becoming professionals and where do they go? Again, I'm here in Atlanta. I know a lot of my classmates have moved to Texas. A lot of people just leaving the Omaha area. And even, friends that I still have in the Omaha area trying to start families of their own, trying to build a taxpayer base, trying to, again, add to the economy of the community, not feeling welcome. And that's kind of the heart of that situation. And again, this is something that I hope to get into a conversation with Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, but also want to, throw to the people. Where do I'm not in Omaha, so where else can young folk go? Because every time I look up, it looks like our nightlife establishments are getting shut down. The stage.
Well, we are, the stage is kind of like where a lot of some of the older folks were going to. But I remember there was some other places like Shawnee from Island Chill had a spot that she was trying to let some young people in as well, and they that had to get shut down because of some issues that happened there. But it just goes to show there's not a lot of infrastructure. Even when people are trying to open spaces, we don't have the right security quite yet. We don't have the things that we need in order for kids to thrive. We're also talking about age groups too. That was for younger folks. Crush Lounge is kind of for people in their 20s that can go out and kind of drink and have a drink at the bar and so on and so forth. So all these different age groups don't really have any place to go and things to do too. So yeah, that's kind of something that we really need to find out about and worry about. And as a matter of fact, we can ask directly because we now have our special guest in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, put some respect on her name. She is here today with us. Good morning. Good morning. Uh-oh, we don't have your audio there.
Make sure you're not muted.
Yeah, make sure you're not muted there because. Okay, we'll help you see if we can try. Yeah, there should be a not seen on your side. There should be a yeah, not really hearing. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of like how Zoom does, how they ask you what microphone you're trying to use. I see. Okay. Yeah, we don't have you on there on the I'll tell you what, probably best bet is if you go out for a second, and when you come back in, it'll ask you about your camera and microphone and see if you can change it then. Yeah, there you go. All right. Apologize for that. We'll see if we can get her on. See if that works for her to do that. So yeah. Okay. Here she's back. Let's see if that works there. Okay, do we have you this time? Yeah, we don't have your sound. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, I can't help you from this side on that. It is that you're gonna have to let your phone come through. Uh-oh, wait, I think I heard something. You there?
Hello?
Oh, there she is. Okay, yeah. I thought I heard something. We
I
can
can
hear you
hear
now. How you doing?
yours.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you
now. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Yes, we can. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. We worked it out. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
Hanging in
Can't
there. I'm
complain.
not happy about this
Yeah.
cold. I do not like the snow.
Yeah,
But
it's actually.
yeah, it's very ugly. Okay. All right. We got you all
How
set
are
up
you
there.
guys doing today? Can you hear me?
Hanging in there. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, we got some people that are in the chat already. Kara Warner saying good morning, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson.
Well, good morning to the top of the morning.
Yep. Top of the morning to you. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
we know you're on limited time. We appreciate you coming. We'll jump right in. I think we had some questions for you, buddy. You want to jump in?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's just go ahead and go for it. As far as the OHA situation, we'll kind of start there. It's kind of the biggest one. This is something that
Okay.
we've been paying close attention to. I'm sure you're aware of and know of the situation going on in the towers and community members chiming up. And again, there's a discussion about the city of Omaha possibly taking over OHA towers. I know your hands are kind of tied with HUD, but what are your thoughts on the OHA situation and what needs to be done to address it?
My thoughts is weighing very heavy on the individuals that are impacted by this. The bed bugs, I mean, just imagine yourself being in that situation. That would be very frustrating and daunting. So, of course, I'm concerned about their overall health and how they're living and how they're shaping up and how that resonates into their mental space. Um, but this journey regarding the OHA issue is something that I have been engaged in personally as a city council member for approximately 2 years. In 2023, I reached out to um, the director of OHA. Oh my! My volume is coming in and out.
No, you're
No,
good. You're
you're
fine.
Okay.
good.
All right. So about in 2023, I reached out to the director and kind of like, and shared my frustrations and the fact that most of or some of these occupants were in my district. And of course, I had an obligation to give them some support and some feedback. And so I had given them a recommendation to kind of help them along to deal with complaints in a more efficient manner, to bridge that gap in terms of reporting. She had given me reason to believe that, perhaps she would entertain that notion, but that never came to be. And then as the can continued to go down the line, other things popped up. Things came up in city council. Pete Festerson and Danny Bagley, and also a senator there in Lincoln joined the bandwagon in 2024, doing the legislative side of the House. And they also chimed in on using their weight in their prospective places to get this issue addressed. But yet we're still here today, and we're looking at a lawsuit today. So in my space, I've done what I could to help people not only in my district but in the city of Omaha. It seems now that it's in a legislative piece. I see that Senator Terrell made a notification yesterday. Did you guys see that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about it already. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, so it looks like it's going to have to come from that space in order for us to have real change.
So
Okay.
city
And do
council
you
can't really do anything at this point.
At this point, we're in a waiting game. When a lawsuit hits the fan, our hands are tied in regards to that. Yes.
yeah, litigation pretty much ties up what you can say, what you can do. It yeah, puts a lot of things on hold. But if this does go through beyond the litigation of the legislation, if that does go through, do you think the city of Omaha getting more control and taking it from HUD would have a kind of a positive impact?
Yes, it would. Senator Terrell McKinney's proposal is suggesting giving us more tools that we can utilize and leverage OHA. Should that be successful, then of course that will give us more tools to impact and make a change and make a difference, and so that we can reduce these number of issues.
And as far as like budget, manpower, things like that, is the city of Omaha actually prepared to do a better job? Can it do a better job than OHA?
The city's budget is large enough to handle that volume, should that go in that direction.
Okay.
Okay, a little nervous about that. I kind of feel, I'm personally feeling a little bit nervous about it because there's so much of this kind of government agencies consolidation going on in this administration. It kind of feels, it makes me nervous. But if you're telling me that that if the city takes it over, they have the capacity to do it and the money to do it, and probably will do a decent job, then maybe that would be better than what's going on with the way the OHA has been handling things right now. So.
But
We'll
you know,
soon. Mhm.
but I want to caution us all because I'm a proponent on education and making sure that everyone has the best information at hand. Right now, we're at a standstill, and all of these things that we're talking about are hypotheticals. They're not real until they go to Lincoln and it's voted on, and that bill that Senator McKinney is proposing is executed.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while for that. Should it be executed? That's the first step. Second step is then how do we implement it from a city perspective? So we're looking at timetables that are not going to happen in the next 30 days, perhaps not even the next 60 days. So I just want to throw that out there regarding the practicality of movement.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, makes good reminder. Good reminder. It's a process for sure.
At the state level, I think the bill that Senator McKinney pushed, I think he said public input is kind of already passed. Did you put any public input, especially as a councilwoman? Your support might weigh a little more. What support or planned support do you have for Senator McKinney's bills?
Of course, I'm supporting it, but the letter that you saw yesterday indicated the majority of city council members, along with the mayor, are opposition to this bill.
Right.
So I would be doing support from an individual basis.
Not a city council basis. Okay.
Well, I mean, an individual in that role, because as what was pointed out, the majority of city council has taken a stance to be in opposition of the proposed bill.
And do you have an understanding as to why? Like, why would they oppose such a bill?
I was alerted of this decision when Mr. McKinney shared that online yesterday. I was not aware that that was the sentiments.
This is a letter that we're talking about here.
Right.
Okay.
Just to shed some light on this, we have a legislative committee here in the city council, like city council members. We have various committees that we're on, and the committee that reviews all of these bills that go in Lincoln is called the Legislative Committee. And currently, Pete Festerson, Amy Melton, and Danny Bagley are on that. Those are the three members that are on that committee. So they were apprised to the position of what's going on here, and they had a weigh in on the stance regarding our position.
Okay. We're limited time today, so we want to make sure that we allow you to speak on your running for office again, because that's one of the things that I know that you are you're on the scene for that. So, but we have a final question for you. So, but before we get to that final question, we want to give you a little minute to talk about your run. How's the run going? What do you feel like you're going to bring if you get elected again next term? Speak a little bit on that, if you would, please.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to allow me to shed some light to the community as to my run. My run is going very well. It's up and running. It's running as effectively as I anticipated to be. Remember that city council race is pretty much a sprint because after the November election, then it becomes city, and you have possibly 3 months with the Christmas holiday, excluding that time frame. So it's a sprint. And so with that being said, I am definitely in the heat of things.
Right.
So I want to put that out there too, that I'm in the thick of things, as well as my other opponents. You mentioned my journey, why I'm running again. I believe that this journey that I have embarked upon has been very beneficial for North Omaha. For example, you're a product of one of those benefits as it relates to the opportunity that you received with lead abatement in terms of advertisement on your program. That's something that historically has not been done on City Council. We were initially proposing providing that opportunity just to mainstream media coverage. And I said, stop, let's entertain other mechanisms to educate East Omaha. And here you have it, and you're one of those recipients.
Didn't know that. Okay, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are things that happen when you're in the city council space. You have opportunities to have discussions, and oftentimes people are not aware that you are the individual that planted that seed. You understand what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
when I'm going into corporate offices and I'm going into nonprofit organizations, they are asking me, what is needed for my community? And when I'm going in those doors, I'm promoting North Omaha in a big way, which is to exercise more access to capital, more in the grounds of small businesses. We know the impact of small businesses, but not only small businesses as it relates to us doing business with one another. We have organizations such as Union Pacific and Peter Kiewit and others. They have services that they go out and look for a vendor. For example, you, a vendor, to come in and provide that service to them. And they call that purchasing and procurement, right? Those are opportunities that our community could have. So they need, and I have advocated for those opportunities. And I've been doing that. I don't know if you were aware of my coming out when I made the announcement of my reelection. It was done on Ollie the Trolley. Number one, I gave Ollie the Trolley the opportunity to make those dollars, okay? Number two, I had individuals on the journey on that route. We went throughout the district identifying what were the wins. We stopped by Donnell Brown at 24th, 25th in Ohio. You see these 5 homes there? Mr. Brown was entertaining the notion of having those homes built with a 1-car garage. Mr. Brown reached out to me. He said, Ms. Johnson, I know you want 2-car garage, but I don't have the money to make that happen. I said, hold up. Here's the tool to go get that funding.
Okay.
He went and got that funding. We have 2-car garages in those houses there at 25th and Ohio.
Okay.
These are the things that your council member is doing in the community. And when reelected, I want to continue to expand on those opportunities.
That's what I was trying to get at. So that's what I wanted to know. What you were doing your first term, if you get elected again, things that you want to continue. So some of that economic development there, you want to continue. I appreciate that. We're going to have you back. We lost a little bit of time today, so we're going to have you back, and we got some other questions that we want to ask. And I highly encourage you to go to the chat as well. If you watch this in its entirety later on, you can go back to YouTube and check out what's going on in the chat. We have some things. Anthony Rogers Wright is asking. Tanaya Patterson is in the chat asking. Mama God is saying, when is election day? We can answer that one pretty fast, right? When is election day?
Primary April 1st, general May 13th.
Okay,
go.
so we'll try to have you back before then, so we can get a little bit more details on what's happening on your run, and also since you're in the seat right now, we did want to kind of ask one more question before we got about 1 more minute left in the show here, but we did want to jump into a quick question about what was your reasoning behind voting for the Crush Lounge liquor license being withheld. What was your decision behind that?
Well, I want to first point out that I am the individual that pushed to have a layover for the investigation to take place, which took place yesterday.
Okay.
So I was on the fence when this issue came to the forefront in the beginning, because they had presented a list of things that they had done. However, they had not provided evidence to support that list of things. So I did help with Crush to flush out getting the information to them as well as to the community as to what the issues were. And so there was a hearing yesterday, and there was video footage, and there were other supporting documentation that was shared. And as a city council member, I cannot look at just one piece of the puzzle. I have to look at the entire piece of the puzzle. And when we look at safety and the videos that were shown and the mass crowds that were outside of the facility along with the police presence, I saw a lot of opportunities for someone to seriously get injured. So I support businesses in a great way. Sadly, I just think that the Crush needs to take a step back and kind of do some housekeeping and get their things in tighter controls so that they can reemerge. I don't think that you've seen the last of Crush. I think Crush is going to have an opportunity to come back, but when they come back, they're going to be better than what they were before, because they're going to have all of these things that has the potential of getting into a safety issue, maybe even possibly someone being injured in a fatality. Those things could happen based upon those videos that I saw yesterday, and the fact that I have my primary job is to assess triage things. So I have to look at those things and make a decision based on that. And I saw some potential safety risks that could come if we continue to go down this block without taking a pause.
Okay, we appreciate that. Unfortunately, we got to go ahead and shut the show down today, but we'd love to have you back and talk a little bit more about some of the decisions that are made. Also, just in other times too, not just election time. We'd love to have you back and talk about some of the things that are actually going on as they go. But we're sorry that we got to cut it short today. Again, like I said, we appreciate you showing up here and giving us some answers and talking about your run. And we will definitely have you back. And thanks again for suggesting us for that media post. We didn't know that you were behind that, so appreciate it.
Thank you, and I certainly welcome coming back anytime. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And also, I'm glad you have Surrenda as helping you out there on the campaign. It's great to have some young folks that are out here doing good work too. So shout out to her, and I appreciate you hiring her.
Oh, no problem. Everybody is doing a good job right now.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.
Okay. Yeah. Not enough time there to really kind of get into it. Hopefully we'll have her back.
Not enough.
I don't know what's going on with these shuffling of the screens here. Appreciate everybody's comments and questions. I'm sorry that we didn't really get to them. As you can see, we had a little bit. I tell you what, man, so this program is doing some things. Where are we? Yeah, thanks for that. We'll go back and get back into these questions again. Have her back another time. Obviously, we gotta try to set something up where we can have a little bit more longer conversation and get tech ready and all that. So apologize for all the tech difficulties. We kind of leave it up to the interviewee to get those things set up, because we don't really have the capacity to try to help them get set up before the show. And so that's some of the reasons why we kind of stumble there in the beginning, but at least we got her on to talk about a few things. And it's been a while since we had her on. Last time her first run is the last time we were able to talk to her. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to her more. Right. Weberized, right. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to her more and other people too. As a matter of fact, I talked to Pete Festerson a little while ago too, and we talked about him coming on to the show and answer some questions. So hopefully this season will be more with some city council members that we can speak to and get some answers from, and we'll continue to do that. And like I said, I appreciate everybody who joined in and asked questions. We'll definitely copy those over and get those to her and see if she'll reach back out with some answers. Between time, we're going to have to get out of here. We're already 5 minutes over time, but you got some words for the people?
Yeah, again, thank you to Councilwoman Juanita Johnson taking the time to come through and speak with us. Definitely gave some, insight on the OHA situation. We'll continue to keep our eyes on that, of course, with litigation and legislation. Kind of the wheels of democracy turn slow, but they're turning. So we're here for that. In the meantime, between time, y'all take care of yourselves. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. And also, if you missed any episodes or want to recap and continue the conversation, you can always do so by checking out the weekly rap newsletter coming out every Friday. So if you haven't already signed up for that, make sure you go ahead and do so. And in the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
We'll go ahead and put that link to the weekly rap inside the chat. So you guys hit that up. Appreciate you, Pops. Pops says, great show. See you Friday. Yeah, we'll have a special guest coming in on Friday as well. And appreciate everybody. Mama God said an A will help. We're going to call you. We're going to hit you up. That might be something we can jump on now, because we've been having some issues with the tech and the guests and so on. So, and we got to get that tightened up since we're on limited time. We're for those of you that are just joining us again, we're an hour now, 7 to 8 in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we have to tighten up our interviews a little bit more than we have been in the past. But we also recognize opportunities to have conversations other than what's happening on the show if we need longer time. And as a matter of fact, with that said, go to First Sky Omaha, the YouTube page, and check out the conversation that we just had with Felicia from Verbal Gumbo. With Love, Felicia is going to be here on Saturday, and with Michelle, with our own Michelle Troxclair. We had a great conversation with her about Verbal Gumbo and about winning the award that they're going to be presented at the OEAAs on Sunday. So I highly suggest you go to YouTube and check out that interview, and many more to come. So with that said, we're going to get out of here. Shout out to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. We shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you, and shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. We really appreciate everybody that's joined us, and that also puts things in Friends of First Sky Omaha for us to be able to consider as well. If you're haven't joined the group page over there, please do so. And for those of you that are leaving Meta, we will have something very soon, an equivalent of Friends of on another platform for you to be able to continue to drop news and information so we can keep the conversation going. So appreciate that. Also, thank you to all the members as well, the $10 members, $25 members, $50 members. Thank you very much for sustaining your sustained pledge in order for us to continue this and grow this and make this continue to happen so we can share this information. Really appreciate you. And if you're so inclined, please go to firstsky.omaha.com and hit the join button if you haven't already become a recurring member of the channel. So thanks again. Like and subscribe over on YouTube. And we will see you Friday. You guys take care of yourselves. Stay warm. Check on your loved ones. Try to stay off the streets. It's bad outside. It's bad.
Yeah. Brr.
Peace, y'all.
Brr.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red